I'm curious to know your economic perspective. You have seldom commented on this topic other than saying that you wish taxes to be raised on the rich. What, in your view, are the moral highs and lows of free market and socialist economies? I understand this question may be oversimplified, but I would like any comments you have on this subject. This is from Dylan Grice. Well, I actually have written a few blog posts on wealth inequality, mainly, and those can be found on my blog. I think the first one is entitled How Rich is Too Rich. I think that's the first one. Anyway, they're all sort of linked to one another. And I think I wrote about this back in 2010 or thereabouts. I think wealth inequality is a real problem. And I think socialism in the extreme, is a failed response to that problem. It's not to say we don't need a social safety net. I think we do. And I think we need an increasingly strong one. And the reason for that is, I think ultimately technology, if it works, will reduce the need for human labor in a way that it never has quite accomplished before. This now goes to the topic of artificial intelligence. Ultimately, if we manage to build truly labor-saving devices, devices that don't simply just open up a space for new forms of human labor, but devices that actually cancel the need for human labor, and I think we're doing that, then you really have the ultimate recipe for an intolerable degree of wealth inequality. There are ways in which this can be mitigated by some democratizing force, where everyone has access to this technology. But I think ultimately we need something like a universal basic income. There has to be some way to distribute this kind of technological wealth more fairly to the rest of the world. And how you do that is the difficult question, but that you need to do that at some point seems to me to be a very easy question. And it becomes especially easy if you imagine it in the extreme case where we have the ultimate labor-saving technology. Just imagine we have built the ultimate nanotechnology, run by perfect artificial intelligence. So you have, some kind of gray goo that can self-assemble into anything we want it to be. Any machine process can be built from scratch, molecule by molecule, so cheaply that basically it can all be done for the cost of raw materials, right? It's all powered by sunlight. This, on some level, is possible if we don't destroy ourselves in the interim. Imagine we accomplish this. Imagine we're handed this perfect technology that saves all human labor. You don't need anyone working anywhere to produce anything. And the smartest minds doing the design work are now machine minds. And we're all left with the freedom now to what? Well, in our current political order, it will be the freedom to starve and fight civil wars over these resources. So we need to get this right. We need a system that can absorb the ultimate breakthrough in labor-saving technology, because the breakthroughs are coming incrementally. So we're still hard-pressed to understand how we're going to absorb self-driving cars once they become not only available, but mandatory, given the numbers of lives they will save. And this is coming on 1,000 fronts. So we need to design a world and a political order where, when there is no labor left to do necessarily, and we're all just free to create art and enjoy the creations of others and play frisbee and live in paradise, we have to be able to do that. And the only way to do that is to have a political and economic order that shares the wealth to some significant degree. And universal basic income is the best idea I've heard so far on that topic.